a thorough henna paste making tutorial. Hi guys, I'm here with the gorgeous Manisha and Kam. You'll remember Manisha did my Mehndi, and if you've been on my Instagram you'll see that I attended a London henna meet with them recently. I've brought them here to show you some of their tips and tricks on comb making and henna and just general really good stuff to learn if you're new in the whole henna process. So I'm going to jump and disappear behind the camera. I'm going to leave you with these two lovely girls.
The utensils you need to make henna, you need to start off with a glass bowl so that the oils don't erode your bowl, a sifter to sift your beautiful vacuum packed henna. We use sugar to make the consistency really nice and smooth, and also personally for me I think it makes it nice and stringy,
and it helps the henna stick to your skin. So obviously if it's on the skin longer you'll get a darker stain.
You need water to mix your henna, and then obviously you need your essential oils as well.
Cajeput and lavender, and those are for the terps which help the stain. We've also got some lemongrass oil, which is just for the smell. It just makes it smell nice.
First of all, you need a really good brand of henna powder. We buy ours from Henna Visa. Make sure it's vacuum packed like this and stored in a good dark place, preferably freezer. If you don't make henna that often, freezer is the best bet. So it should be tight, can't move it, it's quite rock solid. Empty out your contents inside the packet, so you can see inside like that. And this is a magical tool, and it sifts it for you. It's like a toy.
Some powders are not vacuum packed, but that's okay as long as you store them in the freezer once you've opened them and keep it in an airtight container. It should maintain its freshness.
45 grams in this that we've measured out for 100 grams of powder. So we pop that in.
Let's mix the sugar into the powder. And then we add in our oils, which is 30 mils of cajeput and lavender. You can use just lavender, which is great for pregnant people and children under 5. But cajeput and lavender mix is great as well. It smells really nice. Just add that in, and you can also add in the oils at any stage. So I like to do it in the dry powder, because when you do it in the wet powder it gets a bit gloopy and it's a bit harder to mix. And then we're going to add the water, and again water is down to your preferred consistency. So at this stage you'll just want to mix it up to sort of a mashed potato consistency, and then once you've got dye release, then you can add more water and change it to the consistency that you like. And again, it's very personal. Some people like, a wetter paste, some people like it quite thick, so it all depends on your personal preference. But you want it to a consistency where it's not too runny, but not too thick, so you're putting too much pressure on your thumb. You want it to flow easily. So add in your water. I've got 250 mils there. But it just depends on your preferred consistency. I'm also going to add in just a couple of drops of lemongrass oil, and again this is just for the smell. It's quite a strong oil, and this is bought from Riffit at Henna shop, so you literally only need a couple of drops because it's quite strong.
So you know the brand that we're using, it's by Riffit, from her henna shop, I believe. This is what it's called, lemongrass oil, which is one of my favourite.
Yeah.
And you just need a couple of drops of that, like Kam said, in the paste.
But there are lots of different oils you can add for scent. Orange, geranium. If you notice the consistency now, it's still quite thick, but that's okay, and you probably can see a few lumps, but they should just dissolve as it's sitting in the water. So once you leave it for a few hours, although I like to leave it overnight because it's just easier, mix it at night time, leave it overnight, and it's ready by the morning. Although it should only take about 4 hours, depending on the heat.
The paste is ready, like that, kind of like Kam has done. Centre it in the middle and quite clean it off so you have everything in one area, so you're maximising your henna paste. Then get the lovely cling film, and we're going to wrap it to sit.
Yep.
So wrap it on top. dig it in. Do you want to do that bit for me?
Yeah. You're just literally pressing it down, so you're sort of getting rid of the air. If you've got nails, just use the back of your hand so you don't pierce the cling film. And you just want to get it sitting on top of your henna, like that. And you just rub it.
So I've used different powders which say that you can use it for, you can leave it for about 2 hours minimum, and then I would say overnight, good 6-7 hours.
I always leave mine overnight. I just find it easier. I mix it up at night time, about 10 o'clock, 10:30, sometimes 11. Mix it all up. By the morning, it's done, it's ready, you can use it. So whenever I have bookings, I just do it the night before.
You made some earlier. Sounds so funny. This is henna we just mixed. You can tell like it's green, really nice earthy green, and
this is what was sitting overnight. I mixed it yesterday.
So you can see from the side what it kind of looks like, if you want to sort of judge it by eye.
Yep, but I mean the best way to check for dye release is to do a spot test on the heel of your palm, which I've done there, and if you get a bright orange colour, it's good to go after 5 minutes.
Okay, so to check whether it's dye released and what it looks like, you can see it's oxidized on the top and it's quite a nice dark colour. So you take your spatula or a spoon and you dig in, and you should, I didn't dig in hard enough, see the colour difference where it's still green there and it's browner on the top. And then you'll start noticing that all those bubbles that you had previously, they've all kind of melted. So this now just needs a good stir. And you can tell it's a little bit thicker than how you would have your henna.
And this is the stage where you would then adjust it to your preferred consistency.
And you can tell it's actually a little bit stiffer. So if you're trying to assess at home what the consistencies are, because this is something that I found quite difficult when I was learning or watching people on stuff like this, YouTube, Instagram. You can tell it's quite stiff to move around like this, and that's the initial consistency you should have before actually making it smooth. So we're going to grab some water to make it lovely and nice and thin.
You just add a little bit at a time, mix it up, and you'll get the feel of, you know, how soft it is or how thin it is as you're mixing. I'm just going to add in a tiny bit more. And the key with the water at this stage is a little bit at a time. See, I would think that is okay, because when it's dropping in over each other, it's still staying
in its structure that it fell in.
Once your paste is mixed, I like to strain my paste. So if you've got any lumps, or even the smoothest paste sometimes can have, because it's again from a leaf and a plant, it can sometimes have obviously really fine
like particles, so you know, like the vines of the leaves and stuff that gets left behind sometimes. Even though ours was triple sifted, sometimes you get like the tiniest amount come through. Vertebrae, that's the word.
Or even you know, if your paste has got tiny lumps in it, it'll just come out with this and you'll get the most smoothest, creamiest paste ever. So I just buy a cheap pair of stockings, literally, you know, £1.75 from the local chemist. And then, obviously, actually before I go on to cutting it, it's better not to get a reinforced toe, but sometimes a lot of them do. So if you do have one with a reinforced toe, it's going to be a lot harder to strain through it. So what I would just do is cut off the reinforced part and then just tie a little knot in it. So the paste will go around the knot, just like that. And then just snip it, and you've got your strainer. And then your carrot bag, if you're doing, obviously you can get smaller ones, but this is quite large, it's easier when you've got larger batches.
Have a little like tumbler or anything. I got in trouble with my husband because I'd always use like the pint glasses that he wants to drink out of, and then place it on top, and then just kind of have this section so it's tight when it goes on, when the Mehndi goes on.
Yeah.
Cool. So.
And also if you're new to draining or haven't strained before, then it's easier to do it in smaller batches. So if you're mixing up 100 grams, you know, you might want to do it all in one go, or you might want to just do it half and half, whatever you find easier.
To loosen it a little bit.
Henna is very precious, so you want to get every last drop out.
Yeah.
And then you just pull slowly. As you're pulling, sometimes you might need to just squeeze the end where the paste is. And there we go.
Way.
It's out. Finally. Then you've got your beautifully strained henna paste right there. I normally put an elastic band at the end, so when you are toning,
Or leaving it in the freezer.
yeah, you can just slide this down as you're squeezing, so you're getting every last drop out. You can store this like this in the freezer, and that should be good for about 6 months. But the only problem with storing it in the carrot bag is when you need it, you have to defrost the whole lot, and then you know your cones could affect the colour if you keep taking them out and then refreezing them. So I prefer to cone them up and then freeze them up, because then you can just take out one cone at a time, use it, and you've got no wastage.
So guys, if you want to see this coned up, do follow us again on the next link, which is up there. Guys, if you have learned anything by our videos today, the wonderful lady Nisha.Davdra has given us this amazing opportunity on her channel. So if you have learned anything and you do want more information, do subscribe, press the pink button. She's amazing. Come on Nisha, come join us.
Come say hi.
She has been behind the camera today and she's worked really hard and given us this amazing opportunity.
Thank you so much.
And we share lots and lots of love.
Lots of love.
So as you can tell,
amazing.
it's fun here. So do come and check us out
And subscribe to
Yeah.
her pink button.
Press it, it's amazing.